CNT125, Chapter 8. We just got done talking subnetting Class B, so now let's take a look at subnetting Class A network. Again, our process is going to be the same, it's just we now have 3 octets to record keep. But we'll start the process exactly the same. So let's take a look at a Class A right here. We have a 50,000 network. Again, my default subnet mask 255,000. Default binary subnet mask, here's our 8 ones with our 24 zeros. So they need 50 subnets. So to get our 50 subnets, we're going to borrow at least 6 bits. 6 bits would give us our 64 subnets, so quite a few extra. So to borrow 6 bits, I get 64 subnets. When I borrow 6 bits, I get 64 subnets. 2 to the 6, 64. I'm going to be left with, okay, so I have these 16, 17, 18. It looks like I'm going to have 18 bits left. So 2 to the 18 is going to give us our 262,144 addresses per subnet, of which 262,142 would be usable. Again, way too many addresses, usable addresses for the subnet, but we're just following the same rules that we've been talking the whole time. So again, here's my 6 bits borrowed and my 18 bits left of host. So I would change my subnet mask to reflect that. Here again is my 6 bits borrowed. Okay, I linked this octet right here. Here's my 6 bits borrowed. So I convert that into decimal. 128, 64, 32, 16, 8, and 4. When I add them up, I get 252, and then I have 00 in the last octet, 00. So I now have a /14. I started with /8, and I added 6 more, and I'm going to get my /14. So there would be my subnet mask or my CIDR notation to indicate what I'm doing to get these subnets. I now take a look at the interesting bit, the last place value I borrowed. The last place value I borrowed right there. That last place value I borrowed is my interesting bit. In this case, it's the 4 place. It's the 4 place. So that lets me know my subnets are going to go up by a factor of 4. The last bit that I borrowed right here, the 4 place, that's my interesting bit. My subnets will go up by that factor. That place value of 4, it's going to go up by a value of 4. My subnets will go up by a value of 4. So we'll start the same chart we did before. 0, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. Again, this is going to keep going because we're going to have 64 of them. I'm just writing out the first handful. Just like we did before, this starts at 0, this starts at 4, so this one up here has to end at 3. This starts at 8, this has to end at 7. This starts at 12, this has to end at 11. So I would now fill in my broadcast addresses, yeah. So there would be my network numbers here, here's my broadcast addresses here. And again, this is just in this second octet now. It's just in the second octet now, okay? Here comes the first tricky part, if you will. Because I've just shown this is literally just that second octet. I have 2 more octets here to worry about. Well, just like we did with the Class B, if I remember my rule, my network number over here is all zeros in the host portion. So if I tag on these 2 zeros, these right here, this octet and this octet, if I tag them on as zeros, this will be my network number. 400, 800, 1200. That will be the subnet number, that network number, the network number for that subnet. Okay. 1200, 1600, 2000. Those last 2 octets, host octets, all zeros. There's my network number. On the broadcast side of things, remember I'm going to tag on all ones. Well, all ones in these last 2 octets will be 255.255. So over here, if I start tagging on 255.255, that would be these last 2 octets as all ones, my broadcast address. So 3, 255.255. 7, 255.255, 11, 255.255, 15, 255.255, and so forth. These will now be my broadcast addresses. The only thing left to do is the usables in the middle. And just like before, I'm going to drive down the road a mile, if you will. The far right number will increase on my odometer. 001 would be the first usable here. 401 would be the first usable here. 801 would be the first usable here. 1201 would be the first usable here. And then the last user will be 1 less over here. Remember, don't drive backwards a mile, but just imagine, if you will, if you drive backwards a mile, that last octet would go down by 1. So 3.255.254 would be the first usable here. 7.255.254 would be the last usable here. So it should then look like so. 001, 401, 801, 1201, 1601. Okay? And then my broadcast, one less. 3.255.254, 7.255.254, 11.255.254. One less in that last spot. And if I fill in the rest of the IP address, it starts looking like so. There's my 50.000, 54.000, 58.000, 50.12.000, and then my network numbers, my subnet numbers. And my broadcast is over here, 50.3.255.255, 50.7.255.255, 50.11.255.255, and so forth. And then the usables in the middle, 001, 401, 801, and then the last usable, 50.3.255.254, 50.7.255.254, 50.11.255.254. Okay? So that is how we would tackle Class A. It's the same process we've used for the other two. It's just we have one more octet to tag on or think about, or record keep, as I like to say. So there's subnetting of Class A.